Hello dear, I'm Nuela, your psychiatric provider. Today, we will focus on the physiology and the neurotransmitters implicated in complex post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD. In a dimly lit laboratory, a team of scientists huddle around monitors, displaying brain scans of a patient with chronic complex trauma. The images reveal abnormalities in key areas of the brain, responsible for processing emotions and regulating stress responses. Neural pathways appear tangled and frayed, a stark contrast to the organized structures seen in healthy brains. As the researchers analyze the data, they observe how the prolonged exposure to trauma has rewired the patient's brain, leaving behind a complex web of dysregulation and dysfunction. The amygdala, hyperactive and hypersensitive, triggers fear responses at the slightest provocation, while the prefrontal cortex, tasked with rational decision-making, struggles to exert control over impulsive reactions. Meanwhile, the hippocampus, essential for memory formation and retrieval, shows signs of atrophy and is unable to properly encode and consolidate traumatic experiences. This leads to fragmented memories and dissociative episodes, further exacerbating the patient's sense of disconnection from reality. Physiologically, the patient exhibits symptoms of chronic stress, including elevated cortisol levels, disrupted sleep patterns, and heightened arousal. These symptoms, once adaptive in the face of immediate danger, have become maladaptive in the context of chronic trauma, wreaking havoc on both mind and body. In the end, the characteristics of chronic complex PTSD become evident. 1. Re-experiencing symptoms, flashbacks, nightmares, and intrusive memories relentlessly plague the individual, transporting them back to the traumatic events of their past. 2. Avoidance and numbing. The individual goes to great lengths to avoid reminders of the trauma, often withdrawing from social interactions and suppressing emotions to cope with overwhelming feelings of numbness. 3. Hyperarousal. They remain in a state of perpetual hypervigilance, easily startled and prone to sudden outbursts of anger or irritability. 4. Dysfunctional beliefs and attitudes, negative self-perceptions, feelings of shame and guilt, and a pervasive sense of hopelessness pervade their thoughts, undermining their sense of self-worth and resilience. Common symptoms include severe stress and anxiety. Most days, the individual feels physically ill from the stress and becomes unable to focus and be productive at work, unable to relax even when they are not working. Severe social anxiety, mostly in a spiral over a situation that happened earlier in the week. They feel bad about the experience and can't stop thinking about it. They feel like throwing up every time the memory comes to their mind and have no appetite, even for their favorite foods, because it makes them feel sick and uncomfortable. The individual feels very overwhelmed and can't switch focus to anything else or get anything productive done as their anxiety becomes high and intense. They also get overstimulated and irritable very easily. This affects their interactions with people, including their loved ones. Disclaimer: the scenes described above are for demonstration purposes only and do not represent any specific individual or case. Complex trauma and its pathophysiology are complex topics that should be approached with sensitivity and respect for those who have experienced trauma. If you or someone you know is struggling with trauma-related symptoms, please seek support from a qualified mental health professional. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or question down below. And please subscribe for more educational videos and tips.